families and colleagues of the 16 hunters who were killed in Uromi, Edo State by a mob have warned that they would revenge their deaths if the government fails to arrest and prosecute the perpetrators of the crime. The victims were traveling from Port Harcourt, Rivers State to Kano for the Salah celebration when they were intercepted and lynched by some vigilantes on the suspicion that they were kidnappers. The incident generated outrage across the country. Most of the slain hunters hailed from Toranke in Bunkure local government area of Kano State. In separate interviews with newsmen, the friends and families of the victims said only justice would assuage their heart. A community leader and hunter from Toranke, Alhaji Musa Dogo, said the government must bring the killers to book. He said, "We cannot allow this to go unanswered. The hunters that were killed were our brothers. We trained together, fought criminals together, and protected our communities together. If the government does not arrest and publicly prosecute those responsible, we will take matters into our own hands. We know how to track down those who commit evil, and we will not hesitate if justice is not served," he stated. The chief press secretary to the state government, Fred Itwa, said Governor Monday Okwebelo was working hard to ensure that all the security challenges he inherited would soon become a thing of the past. Itwa noted that the amounts to be paid as compensation to families of the hunters would be made public when finalized. I'll get to you. We heard of the story in Edo State where 16 hunters were killed on suspicion of them being kidnappers, and then this is a follow-up story of the families and relatives threatening to carry out reprisal attacks. What's to take on that?
Well, our system is already messed up. Our system is absolutely messed up. So they taking laws into their hands is a huge one. What about the families who had also lost their relatives from the very onset? We've had, this is just like the story just finished analyzing. So what about those who have also lost their relatives? And the fact that they would want to compensate them, the story is just messed up, the system is messed up.
Let's go back to the community policing. These persons were apprehended by vigilante groups whom apparently should have basic training in detecting some insecurity issues. Do you think they were actually absolutely wrong in this case?
I think the matter were not taken appropriately by the vigilantes. Yes.
Okay.
You cannot be very sure, you cannot think people are kidnappers and just gun them down. If I'm correct, that's what it is.
They burnt them. They actually burnt them.
Exactly. So I think you should be, as you said earlier, educating and re-educating these guys. So I think there should be proper education on the vigilantes, so such a thing will not repeat itself.
Mr. Liber, let me come to you. Thank you for your opinion on that. Let me come to you. You heard of the story. I believe you, as a stakeholder, you saw this incident. What's your take? Let's start from the incident actually before we get to this story.
Okay, the incidents, they were traveling from Port Harcourt to Kano State
for Salah celebration.
Salah celebration. Though I've been to Kano severally, but I've not taken through that route.
Okay.
If I'm going to Kano, I take through Imo, take through this route, Abia to Imo to Enugu, from Enugu enter Kogi, Abuja, Kaduna, and then I enter Kano. I don't know that route. But from here to Edo, they must have crossed Sarah security checkpoint and outputs, and they cross it onto Edo. Now, one thing is that the question to ask is what triggers the vigilante to crack down on them.
Okay.
Yes, nobody. I don't support jungle justice. It's bad. But like what we said in the story, that if I'm here and I've witnessed somebody close to me being killed, it has an effect on me. So when I see something that is similar to that situation, even if it is not that situation, my actions will not be found pleasant. Are you getting it now?
Yeah.
These are people who have been held down by herdsmen. These are people who have lost their loved ones. Some of the persons killed might have been friends to some of them. So seeing this thing, they are looking it as is such scenario. They are seeing it as such scenario. This part of the persons that came in, and before you know, they've kidnapped people since. A reverend father was kidnapped in the same Edo. He was on many things have transpired in Edo State in the hands of these herdsmen and the Fulani hunters. So on the long run, they see it as even. This also tells us, in the whole scenario, tells us about the failed security outfit of our nation. Because if I have confidence in the policing and of our system, I will not take laws into my hands. Knowing that if I hand them over, an in-depth investigation will be done,
okay,
and the right punishment will be meted on them. But whereas it has not been happening, they now resolve to carrying out the implementation and the execution of justice by themselves. So this also calls for our police system to look inward. The people in charge of our police personnel should look inward, look at how they've been handling these issues on this hunters, herdsmen attack. How true have you been to this? That is the first thing that happens here, if you ask me. Because I can't just see them and I attack them.
Okay.
I can't do that. Firstly, they've not done anything to someone close to me. They are not in my community. I'm not sure they can enter my community.
Okay. So
this happened because these people, number one, they've witnessed, some of them have witnessed when this situation has been happening in those states.
Okay.
Another thing is that this might be due to lack of confidence, trust, and hope in our security system that made them to take the law into their hands. I'm not supporting it. I'm against jungle justice. But our security system, our police commission, our police officials should do better.
Thank you so much for your opinion on that. Mr. Divine Favor, I would love to come to you. Let's say you were one of the relative of God. You knew someone that was close to someone that was burnt. What would be your outlook on such situation?
Well, that would be very devastating, with the fact that there is no hope on the security system in Nigeria, and this has brought quite a lot of questions. This is the 21st century, and I wonder why we don't have technological equipment to bring down people who perpetrate crime in our society. Yes, we are talking of, from the very onset of this discussion, we spoke of using the vigilantes in each communities to curb crime. What about involving technological equipment to help curb this crime? I think that would be a nice one. Use it and ensure the society is, yes, include security agencies in the communities, but also I think we can also involve technological equipment.
Okay.
Yes. We also made mention of something like people, communities giving out information, being scared of giving out information because the guys will come back for them. Using technological equipment, I think it's also helping that aspect of reducing. So if I am in the position, I think that would be very devastating. I would chase it to the core. For me, I would chase it to the core. I will ensure that the government deals with that.
Okay, Mr. Thank you so much.
Taking laws into my hand.
Okay, thank you for your opinion on that. Mr. Lebari, the governor has promised that some amount of money will be paid to the families of the deceased. And it brings a question to remind of most Nigerians: why is this one different?
Yeah, so I'm also to ask that all the people that Fulani herdsmen, hunters have killed in Edo, how much has he given to them? How much has the governor given to them? So, some things are ridiculous, man. I'm just looking at the whole scenario. You are not so, yes, government can come in, compensate the family for the loss. But there shouldn't be something very obvious, intricate, and we've seen the move of the governor within this period. We've seen several things, and there are things that doesn't go well with me as a person.
Okay.
It doesn't go well with me. Yes, I'm not supporting, I still repeat it. We should be able to live in Nigeria as one. Nigeria is an umbrella name for every one of us. Just as we might come from the same different parents, but we have the same surname.
Okay.
It's called extended family. We should see ourselves as extended family, wherein I can enter Musa's house freely, enter Bankore's house freely, enter Ogechi's house freely, enter Tamuro's house freely, without me being afraid of what might happen next. It's very important. But the governor telling them that he is going to, and the way he has been going about it, I'm not okay with it. This should call for critical evaluation before you start making payments. What has been happening in your state? How many persons has died in your state? What steps have you taken to curb this?
Okay.
And another thing, now you want to pay them. These people are threatening reprisal attack, and nothing is being done. Within this week, someone came on air. It was all over how they are going to attack Christians in southern Kaduna, as far as southerners in Kaduna, because of this. The person has not been. We've not heard any invitation to the person. You are threatening. So I don't get it how we are handling the aspect of security. Take it from me, Michael. Between now and next month, we still hear herdsmen attack in Edo State, in Ondo State. So if we are to do this now, how long are we going to continually pay victims of attacks innocently? Like this one, we are alleging that they were hunters. We don't know because no in-depth investigation was carried out. Maybe if it were to be in a developed nation, the people that were involved in this, they would have called them, they would have been able to come out. These are the things that happened that made us to act the way we acted.
Okay.
On the long run, it's evaluated, you know whether they are wrong, and then they are punished according to the law. If the law says they should die by hanging, by anything, they should die. If it's life imprisonment, they should go. It's the payment for the crime they committed. Okay. You don't have the right to take the life of another individual. You don't, no matter how you've been attacked. If you've been attacked, yes, just that something happened. Sorry, something happened in Adamawa State, when the man was in the farm. Bandits, Fulani, they came to attack him. He removed the machine and killed the person. He was sentenced to what? Death. They said once after disarming the person, we have let the person go. In what phase? So there are many things happening, and like I said, if the governor sees it to be the best alternative, the best means, the best he could do, he should go on. He's the governor of the state. He's the chief security officer of Edo State. If anything happens in Edo State, it's to him. If state of emergency is declared in Edo State, it's for him. If it's not declared, but there is need to, I'm still emphasizing, to look into our policing, our security architecture, and everything that has to do with us living in Nigeria, sleeping with our eyes closed, walking around for our legitimate activities without being scared of what might happen.
All right. Thank you, gentlemen, for your opinion. Thank you, Mr. Libare.